G'day, welcome to another folding knife review. Today we're looking at the K-Bar model 4062 Dozier Folding Hunter knife. We have 3 of them to have a look at today, and different colorations. Blade shape on these are all the same. There is a different blade shape available in the model 4064, which is a clip point. The difference with this particular model, is a drop point. With the clip point blade, the spine tends to drop away a little bit earlier and falls away down to here to a slightly sharper point. So that's the 4064 model, which is the clip point. As I say, this is the drop point 4062 model. I prefer the drop point for my purposes, EDC. I think it's a slightly stronger design and does all the tasks that I need it to do. Within those 2 models there's also some variations, obviously in colour. As you can see, we've got 3 here. The top one is in Coyote Brown handle with the black blade. Middle one, standard black handle with the satin finished blade. And the one at the bottom of your screen, Foliage Green, with the black finished blade. There's also an orange handled model out there, has the black blade, and a pink model out there with the satin blade, and that one is a special edition. Some of the proceeds of that sales of that knife are going towards breast cancer research, so that's possibly a good choice for the EDC for the lady in your life. There's also this particular model that I have, all the thumb stud model. You'll see there's a thumb stud on the other side. We'll talk about the single-sided thumb stud later. There's also a version that instead of the thumb stud has a hole there for deployment. Again, I prefer thumb studs if I can get them. So, let's get on down to the crux of the knife. The blade, as mentioned, it's a drop point blade, hollow ground, made of OS 8A steel. Length of the blade is 3 inches or 77 millimeters. The knife open length is 7 1/4 inches or 184 millimeters. The closed length is 4 1/4 inches or 107 millimeters. Handle material is Zytel. The knife does not have full stainless steel liners. Just pull those out of the way and we'll have a look. Hopefully you'll be able to see inside there. So we've just got the plain Zytel without liners. That does 2 things. Makes the blade, or the handle I should say, a little bit narrower, which is great for carry, and also reduces the weight of the knife. This knife weighs in at 2.2 ounces or 61 grams, which is actually very, very light. You just don't know this thing's in your pocket. It is a lockback mechanism, which most people I'm sure are familiar with. Deployment on the knife, whilst not as slick as some others that I have, and we'll just scope out so we get some manoeuvring room, it's quite good. Normal deployment is done like that, of course, and it does that fine. It can close one-handed. If a little bit of a flick, you can get the knife to open. I'm fairly certain I did adjust the pivot point on this one when I got it. As I say, this is the one I do tend to carry around a lot during the week for work. Mostly gets used on just office type tasks, opening packages, that type of thing, nothing terribly heavy duty. The other 2 knives, they're really just sitting in the collection and they haven't had any use at all. So actually might just see what the deployment was like on those without adjustment. No, not bad. There you go. Disproves my theory. So, the knife itself. Yep, deployment's quite good. Lock up and strength. Well, this one's had some use, so this will be the one to have a look at. No side to side, no up and down. Locks up nice and tight, and of course being a lockback, they're an inherently strong design. Quality of the knife, I think, for the price point is really good. A lot of people possibly don't like the OS 8 steel, and there's better steels out there, no doubt, but for an everyday carry type blade, just for general purpose, work type tasks around the house, it's certainly well and truly up to the job. The knife, as you can see on the side, I'll bring the blade up for a close-up. It has got the Dozier design logo on there, and of course down towards the handle the K-Bar logo. On the other side, not much to see there, the model number, and yes, it's made in Taiwan. A little bit of jimping on the back of the blade there. Quite good, quite functional, looks nice. It's not the sharpest jimping I've ever seen, but yeah, nice to get that on a blade of this price point. And as soon as I keep coming back to the price point, in Australia I paid $44 for each of these. I'm obviously pick them up cheaper, probably in the United States. To give that some context, a knife I've also reviewed, Benchmade Model 527, which if you look at it, very similar blade, obviously an Axis lock, great blade. Pull that off to one side. This thing, I bought this for 44. The Benchmade was around about 2.5 times the price of one of these K-Bars. And at the end of the day, they'll pretty much do the same job for you. So, great value. Carry options. It is ambidextrous, which means we can move that clip for left or right. It is tip up only carry. There is no facility to put the clip up in the other end. Doesn't bother me. I like tip up. We've also got room here to put a lanyard through if we want. Now the clip mounting on this one's a bit different to most knives. As you can see there, no actual visible screws on the clip side, and there's a little Torx screw there. So what happens there is we might actually take that out and show you how that works. It's quite a good little mechanism. I'll just grab a Torx bit here. It's a simple matter of just unscrewing that single screw, get that out of there, and what you'll see, normally I'll use a screwdriver. You need to get underneath there and just lever that out, like so, and what you'll get then is, this is your threaded section, and that goes down through that hole in the handle. You can see that moulding there on either side, which basically matches the shape of the clip, so it won't move around. So to put it back in, simply fix that back down in there like that. We'll just give that a little tap to seat that home. Grab your screw without dropping it like I'm trying to do, and we'll just tighten that back up. So quite a good setup. Only one screw, because of the way it's designed and sits in the handle. It can't rotate or move around, and that works out quite well. As you can see, very quick and easy to do. Mine's on the left. Why? Because I'm left-handed, for those of you who don't already know it, but great, you can move it around to suit yourself. The other thing that you need to move if you're going to set this up for left-handers, and I have, is the thumb stud. And as you can see there, quite unusually, the thumb stud's only on one side. And again, it's mounted with an incredibly small Torx headed screw. And we'll take that out as well, just to show you how all this is put together. It's quite a neat little setup. So we grab this Torx screw driver, and as you can see, that comes out. Now they're very small parts. Just if you are doing this, make sure you're not doing that in the backyard or in the bush or something, because you'll lose these pieces. And that's the screw and the little milled knob there. If you have a quick look at the blade, I hope this will show up. I'll just try and get the focus. You can see there that it's countersunk, or I suppose recessed, the same on either side for the screw, and also that little thumb stud tends to seat home into that recess a little bit. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put that back on. I just thought it'd be interesting to show you how easy it was to do that, providing of course you've got Torx head bits, and I think most of us knife aficionados at this stage of the game would have Torx bits. They're easy enough to find these days. And of course that's tightened back on, so should you buy this knife and you are like me, a lefty, they come of course configured for right-handers. Okay, so now at the risk of great embarrassment to myself, I thought we might attempt a cutting test on some paper. Inevitably, whenever the camera's on, I try and do this, it goes horribly wrong, but we'll give it a bash. I won't use the blade-handled one, because I've been using that, as I say, at work for probably 6 months or more, and haven't even touched the factory edge. It's still good enough for the EDC task, but what we want to see, I guess, is how good the blade came from the factory. So we'll use the Coyote Tan model, which is a great colour, really like that. And here's hoping I can actually get this right. Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad. As you can see, factory edge very sharp. Nothing wrong with that at all. So that's the Ka-Bar Dozier Folding Hunter. For the money you're paying, you're getting an awful lot of knife, which is fairly typical of Ka-Bar. They do tend to be one of the great value knife companies out there. Love their stuff. And yeah, there's not too much bad I could say about this knife. Very high value, excellent EDC, great to carry, ambidextrous clip configuration on it. It's just an all-round good knife, and you won't break the bank buying 1, 2, or perhaps, like me, even 3. Knife addiction, it's a real problem. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review, and please feel free to leave comments, and thank you for watching. Take care, see you next time. Bye for now.